What's up, everybody? Welcome to the SuperThwak podcast. This is now episode 9.
It's going by way too quick, man.
Almost reaching the 10 episode mark.
Yes.
Yeah. And as always, host Damian Leva.
Anthony Stevens.
Yeah, and today we're kind of just going with our kind of how we did the last podcast. More of a just conversation video, basically. Just going off on stuff. Whatever, pretty much. So, yeah.
Be pretty much just free roaming around.
Yeah.
This one, so.
Yeah.
Probably touch on a few different things, but
yeah.
For the most part, there's one thing that no matter what we talk about now, it's pretty much at the forefront of our brains. So,
yeah.
we can't get enough Batman.
No. And all these pictures, set photos, now the Batmobile picture, that just doesn't help.
Yeah.
It's just making me think more.
Tease after tease after tease. I really wish that I could just peek into Matt Reeves' mind, or just be a fly on the wall during any of this filming, or see a completely bare bones cut of the movie right now.
Yes. I want to see anything. I really want to see a picture of Robert Pattinson, a full HD photo of him in the suit.
In the suit, yes.
Yeah, because you kind of saw a little bit of a glimpse of it in the Batmobile picture, but I want to see a full HD picture, which I think we'll get soon.
Yes,
I think in the next month or so. I'm
genuinely curious to see whether or not that's the only suit in the movie too.
Right.
Because first off, we'll jump right off on this because I know you've been playing the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Do you notice how in every one of those games, the further you go in the story, the suit just starts to fall apart?
Yeah, because now I'm on the Poison Ivy level, and there's rips in the suit now, and
you're playing Asylum currently.
Yeah, Asylum.
Yeah. Every game, dude, the suit just keeps getting shredded and shredded, and it looks dope. But I think that because it looks homemade, it looks DIY. There needs to be some sort of development. Yeah, I almost think that the suit that we're seeing, that might be the second suit in the movie. I'm thinking they could even do what Iron Man did in the first movie, how he had the original suit in the comics, how he made it in that cave. It might be something like that at first, and then the suit we're seeing is the second suit or something. And that's kind of the way I was thinking. Because do you remember Batman Begins?
Yeah.
He had he was just wearing a ski cap at one point,
yeah,
and just kind of jumping from rail to rail to try to figure out how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And I could see them going almost that bare bones to start, where he's literally just in a ski mask and some homemade armor.
Yeah.
And then realizing, okay, I need to find a way to better conceal my identity.
Yeah, along with that, I want I've been saying on the last video, and now I want scenes to where you can really get into the psyche, the mental what he's actually going through, and I want to see you've seen Nightcrawler, right?
No.
You haven't seen Nightcrawler?
No. I wish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love Jake Gyllenhaal, so that's the...
Well, you've seen the trailer at least where he slams the mirror shut, he's screaming. That's moments when he's alone by himself and he's kind of going crazy. I want scenes like that.
Okay. No, I could definitely dig a Batman, especially a Batman who's alone, who doesn't have a Robin yet.
Yeah.
And doesn't have a filter where while he may have a no killing rule, you feel he could snap at any moment because he doesn't have anything holding him back.
What if he doesn't have that rule at first? That'd be interesting.
I feel that
people will be turned off for sure.
I feel that's a rule Batman needs to have.
Yeah.
Just because he's a kid who had to watch that, and if any of his villains were to have kids, I feel he'd feel he was ripping the same thing away.
Yeah, maybe if that rumor is true, where that's the gun that killed his parents on his chest piece, when he's about to kill somebody, maybe that
Which I am so curious, how in the hell did that rumor start? Because I'd be happy with it.
Wasn't that in a comic, that Kevin Smith comic?
Yeah, it was in the Detective Comics 1000.
So it was fairly recent. Did he make that up then? He developed that?
That was all Kevin Smith.
Huh. So I wonder why he did that. Because I never read it.
I've never read it, but I know it was Detective Comics 1000, released last year because it was the big 1000th issue.
Fairly new.
And a bunch of different artists and authors got to put a short story together for the Detective Comics 1000, and that was Kevin Smith and Jim Lee, I believe.
Okay.
I'm just curious how someone just picked that up and was hey, we're gonna run with that for the movie. It especially when Matt Reeves didn't say anything. It was just like, oh, there's this thing on his chest that looks like.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's made like.
And he's probably enjoying all the like theories and all that stuff.
Well, and honestly, he's probably going back and rewriting a couple things because of all the theories.
Probably, I would.
It gives you so many good ideas.
Yeah, it does.
It like, I would never in a million. Like, I'm not as creative. I didn't make 3 Planet of the Apes movies that were super well received.
Yeah. And Cloverfield.
Yeah, like him and people like him, the James Wans of this world, the Lee Winnells, the
newer age directors.
Yes, they have something artistically that I can't fathom. I would love to have a swing at it one day.
Yeah.
Direct my own movie, act in a movie, whatever, just to like get that grasp of like creating your own art.
Yeah.
And separating it, if it's like a popular character like a Batman or something, being able to separate it from the Keatons, the Afflecks, the Clooneys, the Kilmers.
Yeah.
And making it your own.
Right, and in a way, like all the ideas that I have, or theories about this Batman movie that I have, in a way I don't want it to happen, because like, in the back of my mind, like if I got a chance to make a Batman movie, that's what I would do.
Dude, yeah. If I'm being honest though, like while I love Batman, if I were ever given the reins, if they were like, hey, here's what we're gonna do. You can make any superhero movie you ever wanted. And you have free reign to use any characters, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'd take Green Arrow over Batman.
I figured you'd say that. I kind of knew you were going to say that.
I love Green Arrow.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like he's one of the few superheroes that has, while he is technically a Batman ripoff.
Okay.
With a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
He feels like a Bruce Wayne because he's a billionaire playboy.
Uh-huh.
But he's so much brighter, like lighthearted, and at that he was lost at sea for like 5 years.
Like, is he not? Because I don't really know much about him. Is he supposed to be like not like a dark, brooding character like Batman? He's supposed to be more like.
See, I love the Arrow TV show,
Uh-huh.
and I fell in love with Green Arrow because of the TV show. But the TV show is Batman with a bow and arrow.
Really?
It's Batman's storylines, like.
Really? Do you think they did that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they couldn't get the rights to use Batman, so they're like, "Oh, we'll just do the whole League of Shadows arc." Yeah, and it was like Deathstroke is a good Green Arrow villain because he's pretty much just a Justice League villain. So like season 2 was fantastic.
Okay.
Season 1. It was like trying to find itself, and it did pretty good. But like a lot of like the small villains were Batman villains, and you're just like, give me something original.
See what you're doing.
Like Count Vertigo is a fantastic villain for Green Arrow to go against. You have the Count Vertigos, you have Richard Dragon, Malcolm Merlin. You can use a lot of the smaller villains like Cheshire Cat. You can use. Like, it's honestly almost endless, the stuff you can do. Like, Brick would be an interesting one, because it's literally... The biggest difference between Green Arrow and Batman is, A, Green Arrow is super light.
Okay.
But he's also super political. To the point where, like, while I love Green Arrow, it gets annoying.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
He's very much about, like, fighting for the... He's like Bernie Sanders if he was a superhero. Like, that's the best way to describe him. He's very much about, like, for the people kind of stuff.
Okay.
But they were going to make a movie years ago about Green Arrow called Escape from Supermax.
Okay.
Where something went wrong, he was basically caught, and he's put into Bell Rev with a bunch of people he put in there. Okay. And he has to work with them to escape.
Oh.
And so he's like...
That was an actual, like, Hollywood movie that was going to be made?
They even made that into a season of Arrow. Or the first half of a season of Arrow.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was scripted around... I think it was... I don't want to say exactly what... I think it was... Not Chris Terrio. Maybe it was Chris Terrio. I think it was along those lines. Like, it had big names attached to it.
Okay.
I would do anything to get a Green Arrow movie off the ground. Like, especially if I could be in charge of it. I would just sit down, lock myself in a room, and read comics for a straight month.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out where I want to go with it. There's so many directions. Because it's untapped.
Right. And that's how I feel with Batman. Because there's, like, honestly, like, even though there's a shit ton of Batman movies and stuff, there's, like, so much more you could do with it.
Well, because there is. He's one of the main comics characters who's, to my knowledge, his main line has never been canceled.
Mm.
He's been consistent over the last 81 years this year. So, 1939, so yeah.
Yeah.
He's always been consistent. Mm-hmm. He's always had the best rogues gallery. You got Joker, Riddler, Bane,
Scarecrow,
Penguin, Ra's al Ghul, Deathstroke.
I would say him and Spider-Man are like the top 2 rogues galleries, honestly, in my opinion.
I'll agree with that. I would say that Spider-Man's is probably the second most recognizable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I will say that I think Batman's is just above.
Yep.
They are neck and neck because you have the Green Goblins, you have Venoms, Doc Ock, you have.
They each have the most like memorable, if anything, the most memorable villains.
Because I'll be honest, like Iron Man,
the Mandarin, that's it. That's all I know.
And even then, like Crimson Dynamo, but you've never seen him in anything. Never.
No.
I couldn't tell you what he honestly looks like except for that he's probably red and he's probably in a mech suit.
Yeah.
Like Whiplash, I don't even 100% know if that was
And that was trash.
Yeah.
In Iron Man 2.
Like, I love Mickey Rourke, but that was it.
That wasn't it.
No. Did you know that, who's the dude who played Justin Hammer in Iron Man 2?
The weapons guy? That was fucking...
I can see his face.
I know his name. It's gonna piss me off.
He was in Charlie's Angels too.
Yeah.
Give me.
As soon as you say his name, I'm gonna be pissed off. Sam Rockwell.
Thank you. I didn't even have to finish.
Yeah.
Did you know he was actually originally almost cast as Iron Man?
Really? Because I know what Tom Cruise was.
Yeah. So Tom Cruise turned it down, and then they were fighting between Sam Rockwell and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, so we're not going to give him that. They're like, okay, but we'll bring him back for Iron Man 2 and make him, like, the antithesis.
That's what happened with Guardians. The dude who plays, who's the bad? Ronan? He auditioned for Star-Lord.
That'd be a trip.
Yeah, but they gave him the role of Ronan, which kind of worked out, I think.
No, yeah, well, I mean, he even got to reprise that role for Captain Marvel.
Cool.
Yeah, that's why I kind of just hesitated. I mean, it worked out for him.
Kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, creatively, I'm super interested in where the Batman can go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evolution that could go with the character. There's a lot of... I don't know, dude. There's way too many places that could go.
I could just drive myself insane of about thinking about the theories and what I want to see, which most of it won't happen.
Oh yeah.
Which maybe one day if I get a chance to, I can use all those ideas that I have. I'd make the most off the wall fucking Batman movie of all time.
I think that's what you need though.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the formula. I'm tired of the safe for consumer.
Like, do you think this is gonna be like a deep like character study like Joker was? I want it to be.
I don't. So I think it will be
to a certain extent.
I just don't think that it'll be as deep as you or I want it to, because it's controlled by a studio.
General movie honest. They want to see fucking action. They want to see Batman.
The only reason the Joker was able to do what it was able to do was because of the budget.
Right.
The $50 million?
Yeah, it was $50 million and it made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Plus.
So there's no way in hell the Batman, with the names it already has attached, is under $50 million.
It's at least 100.
I would double that.
At
honestly.
least.
I would say 250 minimum.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, actually, I would honestly almost say higher, because do you realize how the budget for Birds of Prey?
What was that?
$357.
And that didn't work out so good.
It flopped. Did
you see, like, on ticketing websites, they changed the name
to Harley
Quinn, Birds of Prey?
Yeah. Because...
Why?
First of all, in my opinion, according to what I've heard. I still haven't watched the movie.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have called it that in the first place?
Yeah, or don't even put Birds of Prey in the fucking title.
Yeah, you didn't need to.
You could even just call it The Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Or literally
just Harley Quinn.
Because of the fact that
and Friends.
That is the only reason anybody would have gone to see it.
Yeah.
And at that point, introduce the Birds of Prey in the movie.
Yeah.
And then, if they're well received, which for the most part, as I've heard, they have been.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan.
I still gotta watch it to form my own opinion. I've been meaning to. Life's been busy. I've been on vacation this week, so I don't have an excuse. But, I definitely feel like they marketing wise, they dropped the ball.
They botched it.
Yes.
They really botched it.
And I think that was the biggest mistake. Having a title as long as Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley
Yeah.
Quinn, the fact that you have to take a breath between that
Yeah.
tells you it's too long.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't fit on a marquee, so...
No. You know, on the marquee, all it said was Harley Quinn.
If
not Birds of Prey.
Yeah, if not Birds of Prey.
And nobody knows what the fuck that is.
And yeah, to someone who's not a hardcore DC fan,
They won't know what the fuck it is.
you don't realize that that's Batgirl,
Yeah.
Black Canary.
They're not in a position like Marvel to where they can like do like a weird ass comic book and bring it to life and nobody knows who it is, but it will still make $1 billion.
Because they haven't been consistent enough with what they've been bringing out.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad itself was a gamble.
Yeah.
While it paid off monetarily, critically it did not.
Bombed.
They're retrying that again with a good director.
I'm almost positive because if you read about it, he said because it wrapped. They finished shooting.
Oh, did?
Yeah, and he said it was the hardest time of his life because 2 weeks before they started shooting, his dad passed away, and 2 weeks after, 2 weeks before it was gonna be over, his dog passed away of 17 years. So this is probably the best movie of his career. He's really gonna
put his emotion into it. Yeah. Well, and I'm sure you'll probably be able to tell the difference. And I don't want to say that you'll be able to tell a difference from moment to moment in the movie, because I think he's better than that.
Yeah.
But when you have someone going through that much pain while making a movie, I think that's the other reason, this is super fucked up to say. That's the other reason I'm really, really wanting to watch, I feel like an asshole, really wanting to watch the Snyder Cut.
Because you think his daughter's situation fueled something?
For him. And those movies were already super dark. And if there was ever a moment that someone was in a darker place, that would be it. That's... Losing your kid in any sense would suck. Losing your kid to suicide, 3 years ago in August, my uncle committed suicide. And that's my uncle. That was one of the hardest couple weeks of my life.
Right.
Watching my grandparents go through that.
Yeah.
Now, watching a director who is contractually obligated to continue his work while going through something like that, where it's not like you really get FMLA or whatever you want to call it for moments like that, because you have millions upon millions upon millions of dollars and
a bunch of people depending on you.
Yes, and studios do not give a shit because it costs them millions upon millions upon millions.
Well, yeah, that, and you also saw they really released it anyway without doing much post-production so they can get bonuses. Yeah. And also, I just heard that they used his daughter's suicide as leverage to get him off of the movie.
You never heard that before?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they, if nothing else, if they didn't say that to him, they said that in their public statement when they first came out, and they were like, oh, we're gonna switch stuff because, he wasn't able to fulfill everything because he's dealing with stuff.
Yeah, which is...
It is super messed up, and I'm sure it probably pissed him off that much more. And it's probably why he's so passionate about getting it out now.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's true, I read something that he's trying to get, a team together to kind of finish CFM, post-production stuff.
Yeah, so I heard that too, and I heard it's actually not too far off from being done.
I wonder how
surprisingly.
long, 3 hours, I hope.
I know...
Because you can't do two movies now. You might as well just blow your load and like put it all in
Right.
one.
Well, and I think from what I heard, there was like 5 hours worth of footage.
Yeah.
From just him before they went back and muffed it up with.
Yeah, Joss Whedon. And Joss Whedon even said that he wasn't really in control of what he was doing either. He was being told what to do.
It's so dumb because all he had to do was tweak a couple things. But people's pride, because they want their name on the directed by.
Yep.
And studio interference.
Yeah, because I don't even blame Joss Whedon, really.
No.
I really don't.
Because you can't say that he wouldn't have done something good if it was just Joss Whedon.
Yeah, it probably would have been good.
But you have two directors with two completely different personalities and two completely different visions.
Styles, everything. Everything's different.
I mean, literally, you have the dude who made Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the dude who made 300.
Yeah, just watch Avengers and watch Watchmen. That's all you need.
Literally, night and day.
Yeah. Like, those don't mesh.
No, like...
Yeah, and that was the safe choice. That was a no-balls choice to get Joss Whedon.
It was the very, like, by the books.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like...
But then you get him, and then you don't even let him do what he's gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in my point, at that point, what they needed to do if they didn't want to go with Zack Snyder, destroy the movie. Or put it in a vault.
Yeah.
Completely.
Or
say, hey guys...
Postpone it.
Do something to where that's locked away. And if you want to just completely redo the movie, give Joss Whedon full reign to rewrite everything, give him 2 months and then do another 3-month shoot. It may cost you money, but you're not wasting hundreds of millions of dollars in post-production.
Yeah. Yeah, because the total amount of what it costs is like ridiculous. And they got back their budget, but it wasn't like a huge... Justice League is supposed to be their Avengers.
And Aquaman, I think, made more than Justice League.
Yeah, it did. It made over $1 billion. Justice League only made, I think it hit like 800 something. No, it hit 700 something.
I was gonna say globally, I think it made around 750.
Yeah, it didn't even fucking hit 8.
Yeah, so the fact that you can do better with these single characters than you can with a muddled story like that.
Yeah.
Like,
also, too, Batman v Superman. That's supposed to be $1 billion+ movie. It's supposed to be, but it made 8.
I thought it made $1 billion worldwide. Damn.
Yeah, that's supposed to be... That should have been the biggest movie of all time.
Okay, so I will say I know the Martha thing killed word of mouth.
Yeah, which I don't think it was that bad, personally.
Looking back, it's really not. But they could have done better building.
Yes.
That is the problem there.
Or have some balls and release the 3-hour Ultimate Cut as the theatrical.
That's all it would have taken.
Yeah.
Because...
it still would have been divisive, but it wouldn't have been as bad.
But about 75% of the problems of the movie would be gone.
Yeah.
Because it's explained.
Yeah, because you got Clark Kent actually going to Gotham and investigating a little bit.
Why can't we have a 3-hour Batman vs Superman movie when we can have a 4-hour movie about...
Why can't I have anything I want? Is a better question.
Yeah, but like literally, you have a 4-hour movie about Titanic.
Yeah. And I just went and saw that recently.
I mean, it's a good movie, don't get me wrong.
I fell asleep.
I liked it.
Yeah, I've seen it many times, but...
It's a 4-hour fucking movie, dude.
Yeah. And it made bank.
Yeah. No,
you can't tell me a 3-hour cut of Batman vs Superman wouldn't have made $1 billion.
So, like, it's what, like, literally the 3rd or 4th highest grossing movie of all time? Yeah. 4th. Because it's Gone with the Wind or whatever it is.
Now it's Endgame, right?
No.
Oh, it's still...
No.
Oh, yeah, because of inflation.
Yeah, inflation.
It's Gone with the Wind.
And then Endgame. And then Avatar. And then Titanic.
Yeah.
And for 10 to 15 years, it was Titanic.
Yeah.
And then James Cameron was like, oh, I'm going to one-up myself, and we'll go...
Yeah. And he thinks it's going to happen again.
Avatar 2 is going to bomb. The only reason Avatar 1 made as much money as it did, 3D.
It revolutionized 3D. And
Oh, yeah.
even I didn't give a fuck because I hate 3D movies.
Yeah, but also the amount that you can charge per ticket because it's a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Drove it up.
Especially IMAX 3D is even more expensive than normal 3D. Like,
yep.
And people just went like, oh, I'll go watch this.
It's a trend that is gone. 3D gives me headaches.
Yeah, I never liked it. I didn't even like Avatar to begin with anyway.
I didn't think it was that good of a story. It's Pocahontas with blue cats.
Basically, yeah. That's all it is.
Love Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, I do.
And I think the only other actor in that movie that was in my opinion, any good is I'm gonna feel like a jackass for not being able to remember her name at the moment because.
Talking about Sigourney Weaver.
Thank you so much. And like I have her face, I have aliens in my head, I have holes in my head. I even have Defenders from Netflix in my head. Yeah. Because she's in there.
I forgot she's Cabin in the Woods.
Dude.
She's at the very end.
Dude, she's a fantastic actress. She's been in so many things where I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like iconic roles.
Yeah, iconic. Super iconic.
Like growing up watching Holes. Holes was one of my favorite movies.
She was in Holes?
She was the warden lady.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn. I've seen that movie many times. I
hated her. Like, she was fantastic. But as a kid, I hated her in that movie.
Fuck this bitch.
But for the right reasons.
Yeah.
She played it so well. Like, she is a great actor. Actress. Whatever you want to say it. I will literally go and watch anything she does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to the point where, like, I geeked out in Finding Dory. Because you have her voice over the intercom the whole time going,
I like that fucking movie.
This is Sigourney Weaver.
That's a good fucking movie.
My wife didn't know that was a real person. we were watching something, and out of nowhere, Sigourney Weaver's name popped up. She's like, that's a real fucking person? She's like, I thought that was just made up for Finding Dory.
You made movies for like almost 40 years.
I'm like, go back and watch literally...
everything.
Yeah, anything over the last...
She's like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I love that line in Ted 2. They're like, what's your name? She's all, Sam Jackson. They're like, what's your middle name? They're like, Leslie. They're like, you are Sam L. Jackson. She's like, I don't get it. She's like, you ever seen any movie ever? And they're like, she's like, yeah. He's like, he's the black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, and... it's weirdly true. Like, other than Tyler Perry movies, I can't think of a whole lot of movies where he's not like the central African American actor.
Right. Or Morgan Freeman.
And even then, I feel like there has to be at least one movie with both of them.
There has to be.
Right?
That's gonna be a whole video.
I mean, we could do a whole video and stuff like that. But like, because he's in movies all the way from Spiral, Snakes on a Plane, Tarantino movies. I'm not even gonna list the Tarantino. I'm just saying Tarantino movies.
Yeah, because
he's in virtually
Goodfellas. He was even in Goodfellas.
Dude,
Small role, but he was.
I think one of his first movies was Coming to America. He played the dude who robbed, what was it, the
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was in his 40s, early 40s when he got big.
Well, and, like, I don't mean to disparage him or anything, but I'm pretty sure before he got into acting, like, he was hooked on drugs. And, like, after he got into acting, like, he pretty much went clean.
It's possible. I gotta go look back. Yeah. I never really, like, paid attention to his story too much.
I definitely want to dive into that more before I'm like, oh, yeah, but
yeah.
I'm fairly certain I've heard that somewhere at least. That dude has done some fantastic work.
Yeah.
Like,
still no Oscar though, which is stupid.
He's nominated. I will say this though. Without going into race and stuff too much, I feel like those award shows are very, very much skewed in a paler direction.
Yeah, you're right. Now they're trying to start to steer the ship a little bit.
And I don't feel like they've done a very good job. Because even when I love Eminem, and I by far think that, in my personal opinion, we can always fight about this. By far my favorite rapper of all time.
Yeah.
But I have 2 points here. Okay. But how many movies have you seen with hip hop tracks that could potentially deserve an Oscar, the way that Lose Yourself did?
And yeah, I see what you're getting at, yeah.
And then you go to Grammys.
Yep.
How, in the most eloquent, I can't even do it eloquently. How in the fuck does Macklemore win? What was it, over To Pimp a Butterfly?
No, it was Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
Best hip hop.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Kendrick deserves
all the
Grammys for any of his albums.
You got redeemed on the To Pimp a Butterfly.
So, but in my opinion, though, Good Kid, Mad City, even Section 80, in my opinion, is fantastic.
That should, yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn was my soundtrack for like a year and a half.
Me too. I listen to that every day.
Oh, especially when they released the special edition. Listen to it backwards.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, yeah. I loved that album. Like, it just... His music speaks to me in a way that maybe it wouldn't be expected
like to. It feels like immersive when you listen to it. Because when that album came out, I was watching Trucks and American, and I'd listen to that on repeat all day. Just cycle through.
I would do the same thing. It was my workout soundtrack. It was my work soundtrack when I was cleaning portalettes. I hated that job, but music like that got me through it.
Did you see? I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. He's teasing some shit now.
Ooh, yeah. I do not, but I'm going to start now. I'm going to go home and...
Yeah, he's teasing some shit.
Okay. I can dig that.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to see him, J. Cole, Eminem, Joyner. Like, there's a four main artists.
Joyner. No, I feel like he's too, like, I don't know, trying to be woke.
I don't really get that from him too much. Yeah. I feel like with his songs, I will say one thing a vibe I get more with him than anything is I feel like he tries to do a lot of stan songs. Okay. Like not where he's a stan, but like the POV type of music.
Like I'm Not Racist, that was him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I didn't like that. I was like, really?
I loved it, especially because people lost their fucking minds before they listened to the second half of the song.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the music video, you watch a fat white dude with a Make America Great hat saying the N-word like 6 times, and you're like, okay. And if you don't know who Joyner is, you don't realize that this is a black dude, and he has 2 actors that are...
That was probably on purpose, I'm sure.
Oh, and I'm sure, and it lit the internet up for like 2 weeks.
It did.
But a lot of his songs are like that whole like stan point of view where it's like, he has a song that came out for me like right when my uncle passed away called, I think it's called I'm Sorry.
Okay.
Literally about that exact situation, like someone killing themselves. And that was the hardest thing. I think it's when you find certain music for you too, helps, but like that came out in the perfect time where it broke me down, but it also helped me like, it helped get me through that grief.
Yeah, and I can respect that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of music that did, but like that was just the one that sticks out in my brain every time, because it literally came out 3 days before that happened.
Yeah. And
it was just like too perfect.
Right.
I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
But back to the original point is those award shows are until recently, and it's getting better, but it's been forced to get better by protests.
Yeah. And the way they go about it is kind of like a little bit scummy.
That, and they almost honestly seem like they, for the most part, brush it off. It seems like they give them a couple of obligatory here you goes every year.
Yeah. Like here, let's pick one random one, or a few random ones every year.
Like, I haven't watched Parasite. I don't want this to come off wrong either, because I don't want to take anything away from that whole crew. But like, there wasn't a whole lot of representation there for a long time either.
No, that's the first South Korean foreign movie to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing.
But even outside of Best Picture, like...
Yeah. Did you see what Donald Trump said about that?
I'm really worried.
It was bad. Yeah, he just talked mad shit about it. And he's like, we have enough problems with South Korea, with trade and all this stuff. And he's like, why are they winning Best Picture? He's like, what happened to movies like Gone with the Wind? Which is a movie, this is basically a racist movie. Gone with the Wind.
At least it's not as bad as that one other Disney movie.
Yeah.
Song of the South.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, like, for him to say that shit, like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Dude, this world.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad enough we gotta deal with the coronavirus.
Fuck, that's running rapid.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that shit.
But like I was saying, it seems like they're definitely trying to, it feels like they're really being tryhards one moment.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And then the next moment they're like, okay, we got you last year with Moonlight, so this year we're gonna pretty much ignore you again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even at that, they almost got snubbed on Moonlight. Because everyone was like, oh, La La Land's getting everything. So,
which I was fine with anyway. I'm like, oh, nice. Because that's my favorite movie of all time.
be honest, still haven't watched it. I'm falling behind.
I almost want to give you that one instead of Whiplash.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm down. And I'll be honest. When I had kids, my freedom went away.
It got harder.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I still try to find time. Like, when it's the kids' bedtime and I'm on vacation, I watch Saw, I play The Witcher.
Yeah. You gotta have moments like
Yes.
that. You got to.
And, honestly, this is the majority of my free time. So, like, if I'm not taking care of my kids and my wife's not at work, I'm here doing this.
Mm-hmm.
As much
as
possible.
For not having kids or a wife, I'm pretty fucking busy.
I will say this 1,000,000 times over. We have our crew that we run with. And your guys' crew is even bigger than what I know.
Yeah.
You guys got Sam, you guys got your boy Steven, you guys got so much more. And Justice has the whole club thing.
Yeah.
You helped get Justice's stuff off the ground, helping him figure out how to produce stuff like that. And then you have your own, you have Life from the Gallows, you have Death Sense, you have ThwakJak.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have the time. I feel like I overwork you.
But like the good thing is like I like doing video stuff. Probably more than anything I like doing video stuff. But yeah.
Well, and it makes me happy that I have someone that I can nerd out with shit. Yeah. So like I have collections of people that I can nerd out on certain things with. So like Nate O'Leary, me and him can nerd out on wrestling.
Yeah.
Constantly. Without fail. It's easy. Then me and Justice can talk for the most part about anything. Like I think me and him get along with music and stuff like that. And I get along with you with music and stuff like that. And then Nate Medina, it's fighting, boxing, MMA, stuff like that. Me and you, like, I love having the movies, the comic books where I can connect with someone because to me, unless it's on a YouTube video, hardest thing in the world to find someone I can connect with on that.
Yeah.
And I literally wear that shit on my sleeves because it is the thing I'm probably the most passionate about besides my family.
Yeah, and like I told you too, like I tried to do a review channel like last year, and I actually filmed some. I have them somewhere. I think they're on that computer. It was a Venom review, and what's the other one? The Lady Gaga movie, A Star Is Born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I filmed those 2 reviews. I was like, no.
So
it's so awkward.
I haven't seen any of the 3 versions of Star Is Born. Have you watched more than just the one?
No, just that one. Okay. Because Lady Gaga is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Okay.
You probably didn't know. That's a fun fact.
No, I actually didn't know that. But I also respect it because while I couldn't stand her growing up, there's a lot more merit to her music and what she did for, I'll say, society and pop music.
Yeah. I caught it right at the bat. Like it was 8th grade. Mm-hmm. On the bus, I heard Just Dance, I think it was the first song. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I caught it like immediately. I was like, huh, this is something. Like,
she had balls.
Yes. She was like a true artist.
To come out in a meat dress.
Yeah.
If nothing else, that got people talking. But then it got people listening too.
Yeah.
And it was surprisingly like revolutionary. There's certain songs of hers I'll admit that I'm not crazy about, but like
they can't all be winners.
Yeah. But like genuinely, she can kill some shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like she's like one of the true artists today. Because there's not a lot of there's not a lot of like artists, like all the way around artists.
No, I 100% agree with you on that.
The look, the aesthetic, everything.
Yeah, no, it's very much. Everything feels like it's done by the numbers now, except for a few artists. Like, I like the 1975. The difference in their music is cool. But if you were to put a picture of them next to a picture of... I'm not being literal here, but like 5 Seconds of Summer or even that one boy band that I can't think of the name of, the British dudes.
One Direction.
One Direction. I couldn't really tell you the difference. Because everything that everyone does just feels so safe and...
Yeah. I will say though, I don't know have you heard the Harry Styles solo albums?
I've heard one song recently, and I can't remember what it was.
Okay, because he just had a new album, but his first album, that's like some solid shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check some stuff out, because like, I'll be honest, I was one of those kids in high school, or even middle school, where like, people would be like, oh, that's, for lack of a better word, gay.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, okay, like,
That was just thrown around so lightly.
No, it still is.
Yeah, it still is.
Even with it being so taboo, I feel like I hear it now more than I will say, like, I hate saying this word out loud, but, like, just because I don't really say it, but, like, faggot surprisingly disappeared.
But I hear that all the time at work.
Okay. Okay, I will say, though, that mechanic shops...
That's a whole different thing.
Mechanic shops and those...
Not everyone can work in those.
Trucker places and stuff like that, I fully expect those.
Yeah.
Outside of my job and stuff like that, I don't hear it as much as I used to.
You really don't.
Because people... And I don't even think it's because people don't say it anymore. I think it's because people are careful who they say it around.
Yeah. There's good things and bad things about being...
Woke.
Yeah. Because the bad, Brie Larson.
Dude, okay, so...
She's too woke. She tries to be too woke.
She fails there pretty hard.
She fails. Because did you hear, like, when Captain Marvel came out? I don't know if she was talking about that movie specific. No, she was talking about A Wrinkle in Time. She was going off on middle-aged white dudes, saying that she doesn't want to hear a middle-aged white dude. She doesn't want to hear what they think about A Wrinkle in Time because it wasn't made for him. I'm like, what?
So my thing is...
Everyone can enjoy a fucking...
Yeah, like, are you gonna stop those people from coming in and watching your movie?
And she's white herself. Like, I don't get the...
So I think her perspective is... A, she's an actress. She wants to build a following.
Yeah.
B, if she is being genuine about it, I think her point is that she's a female, and females, not to the same degree, but have been put down a lot over the last thousands of years.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Not to the degree of, like, people of color.
Right.
But there's a lot more... Being a white man in this world...
You're white?
A little bit.
Yeah.
There are certain things that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it proudly, I'm just saying that...
That's what it is.
And there are certain things that we should just shut the fuck up about sometimes.
Yeah.
But you have people like Donald Trump
who won't shut the fuck up.
Who have to express their feelings about movies winning awards. And because it's not white, it's not
American.
Right. Quote unquote, not my opinion. Yeah. It really, so like, it's the vocal minority that hurts these situations.
Yeah.
You have the people who, you have the radical feminists, and then you have feminists who...
Yeah. They're tolerable.
So here's the thing. The word feminist does not mean what people think it does.
Yeah.
Feminist means you want equality.
Yeah, but when people think of that, they're thinking of the radical ones.
Yeah, like when most people hear the word feminism, they get scared because it's like... It's the same way that, like, when anybody says, hey, we want equality, there's always going to be that small group in every group of people that have been pushed down that are like, fuck equality, we want supremacy.
Yeah.
So, you have the women that are like, well, we've been pushed against so hard that if you think about me, it's rape. Where you're like, dude, no, like...
No.
Everyone has the right to... have an opinion, do all this and that.
Yeah.
But we should reach equality and stop. There should not be white, black, any color in between, nothing like that. It should be, hey, we're all on an even line. None of us should have to worry about a cop pulling us over and having to worry about where we're putting our hands.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, there needs to be a line drawn because... A black man gets pulled over and he's jittery because he's scared affects the way the cop acts. Where both of them are thinking completely different things because one thinks he's being profiled. Whether or not the cop is racial, in the past the person has had to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a person who is on edge because he sees the dude like... fidgeting and shaking or having an attitude because he's like, I gotta deal with this shit again.
They're gonna react to that.
And some people are too reactionary, and that's why...
That's when bad things happen.
you get Ferguson, you get all those other things, and it sucks to see, but there needs to be some sort of mental training for officers, and maybe even like a screening before they go in, mental health, and like see where they came from and see where their head's at, to know you're not putting people out there on the streets, especially in urban areas where they're going to be prejudiced towards the people they're
targeting
policing.
People. Yeah.
And especially when we live in a society where like
Joker.
Well,
We live in a society.
but not even so much like to that degree, but like we live in a society where cops have to meet a quota for speeding tickets.
Yeah.
And
that's when, they're dick. That's when they're dicks.
Yeah.
About it.
And like my grandparents, my grandma, were both sergeants, one for Federal Heights, one for Commerce City, and got to hear plenty of stories from them. And then I have cousins who are Mexican. I have friends who are black. I have everything, and you get to hear both sides, and it's like almost beating at you at the same time from each side, and you're just like, there has to be a way to find a happy medium. And it just doesn't make any sense, because you know the people you're raised by, and you know that there's not really like a racial or prejudice bone in their body.
Yeah.
But you get to hear it from other people where maybe it wasn't my grandparents, but they have to deal with people that work with my grandparents, and it's like...
Yeah, no, I work with guys who are very prejudiced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can get bad sometimes. It's crazy. When you're not supposed to talk about political stuff at work, but don't stop these guys at all to like shoving their beliefs down your throat, and I'm like, really?
Well, and that's the thing. I was raised in a certain way where my dad's big thing was, there are 3 things you don't talk about: religion, politics, and sex. Because
like sexuality, or just
sex or sexuality.
Okay.
Just like those are the not safe for work and not safe for like public talks unless you're comfortable with the people you're around.
Yeah.
And because those are the 3 easiest things to offend someone with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because everybody has a mountain they're willing to die on.
Yeah.
The only thing that I will get irritated and pissed about, because I am open and willing to listen to anybody's opinion about any of those things. Only thing I will die on a mountain for is my wife and my kids. Other than that, I'm free game to talk about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the idea of being offended for any and everything. I don't think that it's right to put people down because of anything, but at the same time, I don't think it's right to put people down for believing something, but I don't think it's right to put people down for not believing something. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it can go either way. Yeah, because I've been called a bunch of names throughout my whole life, and that doesn't affect me anymore. And it doesn't offend me when I hear those political rants and stuff where it doesn't offend me, but it just gets annoying. Because if you rebuttal with something, you're not gonna win. Mm-hmm. You're gonna throw it out. There's no win in that situation, because it gets annoying, is what it is.
My only issue with those, well, among the many issues, my primary issue with those kind of things is like, when you get those racial undertones in those debates and stuff, it's not so much that it's said that irritates me. Yeah. It's the amount of support that it gets.
Yeah.
In 2019, 2020, the fact that you still have to worry about that. Like, it's... you don't think about it when you live in safe areas like we do. Yeah. We live in Brighton. You live in Brighton, I live in Thornton. Yeah. And for the most part, it feels like these areas kind of have control over stuff. But, like, we went to Kansas, and you can feel a separation.
You can feel it, yeah.
Like, when you get into rural areas, there's definitely a separation. Mm-hmm. I mean... But to hear the amount of support the stuff gets just in comments on YouTube, it's like, something's got to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I know we started at Batman, and I can't tell you how. We got here because of award show talk.
Yeah. We were talking about that.
We devolved pretty quick into this.
But hey, that's all right.
Right? And that's the thing, like, I think where we're gonna start going with these from now on is more free flow.
Start with something to start off, and then just see where it goes.
Yes, and if we're good at it, maybe we can even wrap it back around to the original talk. Before we finish up, I do want to ask you, just because it popped in my head, what would you do if they brought that into a Batman movie?
I was just gonna ask you, like, jokingly, like, what political party do you think Batman's a part of?
And I don't even know if I would want to. I don't think I would want to get into that. But I also don't.
He's a nihilist.
Yeah, I don't think he would really be crazy about one thing or the
he's
other.
like, fuck the government.
Yeah, because it didn't do him right as a kid.
Yeah. No, he'd be anti-establishment, anti-everything.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still a billionaire.
Well, yeah.
But he's not going to be the guy who puts his neck out for other billionaires, in my opinion. For lack of a better word, like Bernie Sanders. Like, but my thing is, genuinely, do you think that's something that a superhero movie should touch, and how sensitively do you think it should approach it?
Short answer, no. But I think there's certain exceptions to that, because I would say Watchmen is sort of political.
Yes.
In a way. And there's certain stories that do, like, call for that, but in stuff like Batman and stuff, there's no fucking need for it. I'd say.
See, and like, I'm drawing on I'm having a hard time drawing my own line here, because I feel like that fits perfect with where they're going with not the movie Batman, but the new comics Batman.
Okay. Is there a new line coming out?
Yeah, the 5G, remember we talked about it?
Yeah, that's right.
Where Luke Fox is going to be Batman. So you're going to have...
Who's Luke Fox?
Lucius Fox's son.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was Batwing for a while and everything,
Okay.
but now he's going to be...
The Batman.
Yeah. I will say the only thing that irritates me about that is I really wish a Robin became Batman.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with a black man being...
Yeah.
Like, you can even make this guy that they've had Batman training... They've called it, I think his name is Duke.
Mm-hmm.
I would be cool with him being Batman in the future, but they're doing Luke Fox, which also makes sense because, you know, he can do what his dad did and then also do what Batman did.
Yep.
I think it would be interesting to test those waters with a black Batman. I don't know if a white... I don't think you need a Great White Hope type of Batman.
No, because like I think I mentioned to you before, like Oscar Isaac would be a good Batman, I think.
I see. I could dig that.
Yeah. Idris Elba would be a cool Batman.
I just feel like Oscar Isaac would be a bit short. I don't know why he looks short to me.
Yeah.
I also feel like Tom Cruise...
Look at his height just for the...
I also feel like Tom Cruise looks like he'd be a good Batman, except for the fact that he's like 5'4". And it wouldn't
like
be
I couldn't play Batman. I'm like 5'8", and I'm like, nah.
I think also before we close this out,
He's 5'9", so he's not like terribly short.
Yeah, but I feel like Batman needs...
He's at least 6.
Batman, I feel like, needs to be 6'4". Minimum.
I'd say 6 minimum.
Okay, but I would agree, but like...
How tall is Christian Bale? Let me look that up.
My thing is... I feel like Christian Bale was honestly too short. Coming from a perspective of someone who watches wrestling constantly, I feel like... like I said, I feel like he was still too short. So Christian Bale is 6 foot, but I still feel like he was too short.
Ben Affleck was 6'4", so he fits your specific... Oh, that another...
What's Pattinson?
That just means he was the perfect Batman then.
I mean, okay. See, and me and you agreed that physically he was imposing.
He was the best Batman
like
of all time. Unless if this one doesn't surpass him, I'll be just...
I am 5'11", and I don't think I could play Batman. Would I turn it down? Fuck no.
Fuck no.
I would
Robert
be happy as hell.
6'1". Plus, I'm sure he's going to have some sort of boots. He'll reach 6'2".
Yeah, see, and like, a video and cinematography can suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
Because how many movies would you guess that Tom Cruise... I'm not going to say he's actually 5'4". I don't know. But he's just short fucking dude.
I think he's shorter than me. I think he's at 5'6".
Would you mind looking that up for me real quick? He is short. But in a lot of his movies, you wouldn't guess that because they work around it. They put him on apple boxes or whatever they have to do.
He's 5'7". He's an inch shorter than me.
So it shows that it's in the forefront of their minds because they hype him up to look like he's like 6 something.
Because I always thought he was at least 6.
Right. And it's one of those things that's like a little jab at him every time someone has something to say. They either talk about how he's secretly gay or he's super short.
Yeah. Or super gay.
Yeah. Like, because I don't know if we talked about this last time, but you ever listen to Bowling for Soup?
I've only heard that one song.
Which one? Because they have 1985.
That one.
Okay. Then they have that song High School Never Ends. And, like, I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were talking about how they didn't know that there was, like, a rumor that...
That was me.
Oh, yeah. So, Tom Cruise was gay, and they have that line where he's like, well, Katie had a baby, so I guess Tom's straight. And, like...
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason he joined Scientology. Because being gay is super against Scientology.
Yeah.
But...
Against it. A lot of religions.
Yeah, but Scientology's like...
Like anti.
Yeah, like they...
We don't like the gays. Like Chick-fil-A.
They will try to Mike Pence you.
Ooh.
If you...
Electroshock therapy.
Yeah, like they go over and above.
I'm gonna pray the gay.
Come at me, Scientology.
Yeah.
Last thing that we'll touch on real quick. Just because you brought it in my head. We'll both go, but if you could pick one superhero that you think you could play accurately and faithfully, who would it be and why?
Fuck, that's a hard question. You go first if you have one.
I would be willing to cover my tattoos for pretty much any of these. Like, not like legit, but like all makeup, shirts, whatever. Cover up my heads. Tattoos and everything. But
fuck, that's hard.
I know it is. And it's one of those things that's thinker. I don't even honestly have one.
I don't either.
And here's the other thing though. Comic books are also super skewed towards white people's because there's not a whole lot of Asian, Mexican, or black.
Yeah, which works out for me if they ever go that way. They'll be getting roles left and right.
Because like Blue Beetle, they made him into a Hispanic. I think it's Jaime. I want to say Reyes, but I'm probably wrong.
Okay.
Really good character, especially if you watch Young Justice. Fantastic. So if I had to pick a superhero that I would portray on live screen, I would put in the time to get in shape and do something where I could be fucking like just shredded.
Oh, it'd be easy too if you have that time. We were like, we're gonna, well, obviously you're gonna get paid. So like, fuck my job.
Right.
I'm gonna go work out.
If it was my job,
yeah,
I would actually get a gym membership. I've been working out in my living room right now,
Yeah.
so, dude, it's kicking my ass. But if I could afford a gym, I would be in there much more often if I didn't have to work a 60-hour-a-week job. Yeah, no, I'd be able to put so much dedication into a character like that, especially physically. There are a lot of options. I don't feel like I would do a Batman justice.
that'd be hard to do.
It's super dark, and I don't know if I want to put myself in that mind space because I was in a pretty dark mind space throughout my like teens, and it didn't feel good to put myself through that artificially. I mean, it could, but that's the thing.
You got an on-site therapist,
right? It's what they need for people like Heath Ledger and stuff like that. Well, especially if you're trying to go with like a super dark version, like we're talking like where he's maybe like actually like mentally.
I feel like that's why I'd be good in roles like that.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
I just don't know how respectfully my portrayal of something like that would be viewed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Do you have the people who are super sensitive about like, oh, I have that, like where you're like, okay, I don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah.
I think a fun one. I can't pull off an accent. I would say Constantine. Oh. Just because I love that. It's dark, but it's
a different kind.
Yeah, it's fun at the same time. I don't think I would be able to pull it off because the accent, and while I love Keanu Reeves, I can't watch that Constantine movie because it is so unfaithful from the comics because of the accent alone, and then Keanu Reeves doesn't have the blonde hair. Have you ever watched the Constantine TV show, or he even pops up in Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow?
No, but I've seen like pictures of like what he looks like in the comics and stuff.
That dude is fantastic.
Really?
His name is Matt Ryan, and yeah, I know I laughed the first time too because of the quarterback.
Yeah.
You ever play any of the Assassin's Creed games?
Here and there.
You ever play Black Flag?
Yes.
He's that voice actor. He plays the main character,
okay.
Edward Kenway. I want to get that show back. If I could, I'd get that show back off the ground and get it running again because it was fantastic. But if I had to pick, like, I'm just kind of circling because like it is hard to make a decision on this because there's a very wide world as far as superhero movies go, and personally, I'd want to stick with DC no matter what.
I would.
I don't know. I feel like they have the more compelling. Yeah, I can dig that, but I feel like DC has the more compelling characters to me.
Yeah, they got deeper characters.
Green Lantern.
I
would go, but I'm not talking Hal Jordan.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking either Guy Gardner or Kyle Rayner.
Okay.
A, because they've never been on screen. B, you can still be shredded. And C, giving a new performance to a fairly well-known character.
Right.
Where it's... I also just really want a Green Lantern Corps movie where you get like the 5 or 6 human Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
And all the alien lanterns.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite comics because it's like you kind of see the power of like how strong humans are, even though we down ourselves so often.
Right.
It's like the idea of having willpower is just like so. I'm trying to think of like the right word, but like it's inspiring almost.
Okay.
Even though it's a fucking comic.
Right.
But yeah, I think that'd probably be the way it'd go.
Okay. Oh yeah.
What are you thinking? I know it's a hard one, dude. Like, I circled for a while.
Like, I guess I can't, like, pick, like, who I would play, but I know what I would make. Spawn. I would make a Spawn movie.
Spawn movie would be dope. If we're talking about just make, then I know exactly where I want to go before I even... After Green Arrow, Nightwing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'd go Batman and Spawn.
Especially if if I can get like a Zac Efron for Nightwing.
Ooh.
I don't know why. He just like visually, the dude's like the perfect Nightwing. Like shredded beyond.
He just needs to shave his chest.
Baywatch? Holy shit.
He looks like Blocky.
He looks CGI.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Like 300.
Like, it's hard to make yourself look good when you're standing next to The Rock.
Right.
And pulled it off.
Yeah.
So props, especially when I couldn't stand him in middle school.
Right.
It was a fucking high school
like we all
musical.
hated him back then.
Well, I think the primary reason we all hated him is because every girl in middle school wanted to be with Zac Efron. But yeah, so you can't think of one you would want to play at the moment.
I'd be down to play Spider-Man. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be different.
It would be interesting because
Yeah.
I also am really, and I will say this. There's a lot of suspension of disbelief you could put into the name Miles Morales, because it is a Hispanic character by nature, but at the same time, he does have an African American father. I think that would be an interesting way to portray the Miles Morales character.
It would be.
I mean, I'd even be down for Asian Mexican Peter Parker.
Right.
I'm not down. I'm not going to argue with it, so. And in my opinion...
Peter Chang Parker.
There's nothing that really says white about that name, so it's not like...
It really doesn't. It really isn't.
The only reason I think that Bruce Wayne needs to be white...
What, Bruce?
Not even so much that. It's the fact that that family was pretty much built off of the backs of... Like, if you delve into it, it feels like that kind of family is built off the backs of, like, slaves and stuff.
That powerful, like...
Yeah. Like, I mean, even to the point where I think the Waynes were one of the founding members of, like, the Court of Owls. So it's like...
Okay, yeah.
it's like they kind of like stepped on people to go up, and you wouldn't really view them as being like super open-minded or tolerant up until maybe Bruce Wayne's parents.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
The only way that you get a black Batman would be like Bruce's dad going out with a black chick or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to suspend my disbelief for anything like that, but I feel like that's one character that needs to.
Spider-Man, you can get away with it because he wasn't rich.
Yeah,
he comes from his parents died too.
But. Yeah, and he's from a pretty, like, not poor but
right below middle class.
Yeah,
maybe lower middle class.
Struggling. To the point where he's a superhero and he still struggles.
Yeah,
like it's more about the idea of being noble. It's not about the idea of where you come from or anything like that.
Because he's supposed to represent Spider-Man. Peter Parker's supposed to represent a normal dude.
Yeah.
As a superhero.
Dude who can work a 9-to-5 job, but at the same time feels like he has a duty to help people.
Yeah, and that's why he's compelling too, is because he's like trying to balance like his school life, personal life, and being Spider-Man at the same time. Yeah. And Bruce Wayne really doesn't have that. All his free time is basically to be, I feel like, Batman for the most part. Well, and run the company, but I mean, you don't have to do much.
The thing I think is fascinating about a character like Bruce Wayne is all he wants to do is be Batman.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Shit crazy.
He doesn't care about Bruce Wayne.
No, he don't give a fuck.
But he knows that he needs to be Bruce. It is the weirdest dichotomy for a superhero because of the fact that Bruce Wayne feels like the Mask. Yeah. And
he's really he is Batman.
Yeah. He doesn't care about being Bruce Wayne. The only reason he is Bruce Wayne is because he needs to be able to continue to be Batman. Mm-hmm. And the money being Bruce Wayne helps that. Mm. Also, if he makes it look like he's incompetent in public and he's a fumbling drunkard playboy billionaire who all he cares about is women and cars and stuff like that, who is going to point the finger at Bruce Wayne as being Batman at that point?
That could be an interesting angle to take in the movie too. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's one of the big things they do in the Batman Year One comics and stuff like that. Is they show him literally hiring girls to say, "Hey, we slept together last night." Yeah. Where he's just waiting for the cops to come in and interview him.
Yep. Because he's sad, lonely, and full of anger, and he's batshit crazy.
Yeah. So now that we have wrapped all the way back around at the beginning of this, please, first of all, we appreciate everybody who's been watching. We know that we're not in the hundreds of thousands of views or anything like that.
We'll get there.
Yeah. We don't have big heads or nothing like that yet. Yeah. But it definitely means a lot to us that people continue to watch and subscribe, and we finally passed the 100 followers and stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. So we need to get YouTube up there. So if you watch these, if you're someone we know or someone we don't know and you're interested in anything comic book related, movie related, random stuff that we talk about here on the podcast, just share the video around to anybody you know who's also interested in that stuff. That's how we get there.
Yes. And don't get me wrong, I will do this for free for the rest of my life because I find joy in it. Yeah. But if I can end up making this something I get paid for, why not? Yeah. And if what we talk about brings any joy or any cycle of thought into your daily lives, it feels like a win to me. Yeah. So if you please wouldn't mind subscribing, liking, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube especially, because that's where it's at, we'd be super grateful. Yes. So until next time, I'm Anthony Stevens.
Damian Leba.
Peace.
Peace.